If you're like me and you were a preteen and teen in the early 2010s, you probably remember being in the trenches when scene fashion began to take over the internet. I remember the days of early Instagram when scene queens started to get really popular, and I gotta say, it wasn't always the best thing. I will, however, always have a special place in my heart for the scene queens of MySpace, who I dare to say were some of the original influencers. A lot of people will say that scene is like emo's rainbow cousin, and I'm here for it. I absolutely love that description because that's exactly what I would call it. I mean, you take all of your classic emo staples like your skinny jeans, bonus points if they're ripped. You have your tight black hoodies and your studded belts and chokers and collars. Just all of the things that you would associate with your typical emo kid. But then you add highlights of rainbows and neons. Neon green and neon pink are both super popular accents. And I don't know, I just love the contrast between the dark black and the bright neon colors. That's like one of my favorite things. The pop of color will forever be my favorite thing. And like, I hate to say it, but a lot of times when I'm dressing up, especially if I'm doing a scene inspired outfit, I want to look like I just came out of the coloring book of a toddler that discovered highlighters and glitter for the first time. I want to sparkle and I want to be colorful. That is like my favorite thing in the world. I also absolutely love all of the fun patterns that you'll have whenever you look at scene outfits. You have your cheetah spots and your leopard print and your raccoon stripes, and I always love the raccoon stripes in the hair. I've done it a couple times myself. I think my favorite was when it was like, I think it was a light green, almost neon green hair with blue stripes. That was a fun one, but it didn't last very long. But, anyways, I just love scene queens and how bold they are and how confident they are too. Because whenever you see them in these outfits, they always just have, they look like they're having the most fun. And I'm so jealous of it because I absolutely admire people that can confidently express themselves without worry about what other people think. It's something that I personally really, really struggle with. And so, like, I'm 25 and I'm just now really starting to explore alternative styles out in the public, like wearing it out on a normal basis. And it has been so much fun, but it's also scary, you know? Like, it's really weird walking out into a town where it's not exactly the norm, and you're wearing bright purple demonias with a plaid skirt and a, you know, graphic t shirt, and you have bright pink hair and all of the candy. And I just, I wish it was more normal. And I wish that when I was growing up, I had coloring books like this because I absolutely love fashion. And like, ever since I was little, I can remember just watching Project Runway with my mom. And then we would also watch, her favorite thing was NHK Kawaii, specifically whenever they would have the segments about Harajuku fashion. Her favorite was always Decora fashion, and I gotta say, same. I love it so much. The Kawaii Decora coloring book was the first coloring book that I made. This one is my second one, and I'm so excited for it. It's in review to be published right now. As soon as it is actually published for sale, it'll be $7.99 on Amazon, and I'm going to link it in the description below. And so if you do want to see that, please stick around. Feel free to subscribe, like, and comment. Everything helps my channel. I really don't know what I was expecting whenever I got into YouTube. I've been here for like a month and a half, and I gotta say, it has recently really popped off, and the positive response that my Scene Queen coloring book has gotten has just blown me away. Because I'm sure you can tell I'm a big fan of scene fashion. I've always loved it. I think that it's underrated. It is bold, it is fun, it's unique, and there's just so much freedom and so much that you can do with it. And so that's also another reason that I wanted to do this coloring book, is because you have the freedom to express yourself in it however you want. You can give these scene queens whatever color hair you want. And like some of them I left a little more simple. So for this one, for example, you could go in and you could add cheetah print to her hair or raccoon stripes, and you can even add extra bracelets. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to draw so many more bracelets throughout this book, but they are so tedious. And I didn't want to burn myself out because I did 30 pages of illustrations for this. I also had like an additional 5 pages of sketches. And I really wanted to do this justice. So, for the sake of not burning myself out, I kind of simplified it. Plus, not to mention the fact that it's literally a coloring book. I don't want to get too detailed because, personally, for me, whenever I'm doing coloring books, I really like it to be something that I can finish in one sitting and not have to worry about if I'm going to be stuck there doing it for hours or if I lose interest and go do something else, I'm not going to be able to go back to it or finish it, because that's like the number one thing that drives me away from coloring books is whenever I start coloring it and I have a lot of motivation and it looks great, but then I realize, oh my god, there are so many details and I don't know what to do and this is so tedious, so I'm just going to step back and take a break so that way I can breathe and come back to it later. And then I put the book away and don't touch it for 7 months. And rinse, wash, repeat. I cannot tell you how many times I've done that with a coloring book. So I wanted this to be something, again, that had like enough details that it's going to keep me interested and going to keep me busy for a little while. Like, I've colored some of these myself. I'll actually have a speed paint of one at the very end, just to make sure that it's something that you can do within, 30 minutes to an hour, longer if you really want to get detailed with it, add your shading and all sorts of fun things. I personally think that I'm going to absolutely love using gel pens, like the sparkly glitter gel pens. I'm going to add so many sparkles on my coloring book whenever I get it and use so much glitter, and that's probably what I'm most excited for. I'm not going to lie. Also, this page in particular, I absolutely love because just scene queens getting ready together, it's iconic. And I remember these glasses that had like the little slits in them and you could only see through the slits. And oh, those were like one of my least favorite accessories ever, because it's like I didn't see the point of keeping them in your hair as an accessory on its own, but like now I get it a little more. Like, I could easily see how you could use glasses just as a hair accessory, not even as glasses. But like, that was one of my least favorite things for the accessories. That and certain motifs in scene fashion were a big no-no for me. So like, throughout this, you're gonna notice that it's really lighthearted, it's really wholesome. You got some little skulls and crossbones in there, but that's really as dark as it gets because that's not what this is about. This is about having fun and expressing yourself and being bold and colorful. And yeah, I'm having way too much fun with it. I still can't believe that I was able to do 30 pages of illustrations in a week. And that's actually, I did 60 full pages of illustrations in 2 weeks. Week and a half. It wasn't even a full 2 weeks. And I'm just really proud of myself for that because I've been saying that I've wanted to make a coloring book literally for years. And it's something that I've always put off because I thought it was way too complicated. And the only reason it was way too complicated for me to make a coloring book is because I overcomplicated it. So I stepped back, looked at what I wanted to do, found so many photos for inspiration. I mean, I was looking through hundreds of pictures of scene queens trying to come up with the best poses and the best outfits and everything else. And oh my god, the scene queen brain rot is real. It is all I can think about. It's all I've thought about for the last week. So yeah, I'm really excited for this project to be done, and I'm really proud of myself for doing this. The other 30 pages that I did were for my Kawaii Decora coloring book. None of those pages are featured in this video, but I absolutely will showcase that one later because I'm really proud of that one too. That one, honestly, it doesn't have as much detail as this one. It was my first coloring book and I was trying to figure out exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to have really bold lines to make it a really easy design, and I wanted there to be a good balance between those clean, bold lines and really fun details without it feeling too bland. And I feel like I really found my footing in this Scene Queen one. I think that the next thing that I'm gonna do is probably a pastel goth fashion coloring book, because I absolutely love pastel goth. That was like what I strive to be whenever I was a teenager, and it was always just one of my favorite subcultures of fashion, of style. Yeah, I think you would refer to that as a subculture. It's kind of insane to be on social media now, like especially on TikTok now, and see how these styles have progressed and watched all of these new labels form into existence. Because, I mean, like nowadays I'm getting comments with, oh my gosh, scene core is so cute. And it's my favorite. And it's like scene core. Everything is a core now. And that just refers to it being aesthetic. Like you have cute core, weird core, kid core. Those are a few of my favorites, just to name a few. And I'm not knocking that at all. I think it's really interesting to watch how people label these things and how it develops over time. But it's also just interesting to see it. And I think that it's really cool, especially in the start of this year, 2025, on TikTok. There was like this huge little resurgence of scene fashion, and I think it would be safe to say that it was more specifically e-girl fashion or just like the 2020 alternative style, which yeesh, scary to see, but scary to see because 2020 is a jump scare, not because I don't like the fashion. I absolutely want to do an e-girl coloring book too. I think that would be iconic. And if you have listened to me yap for this long, I just want to say thank you so much. I really didn't have a script for this. I am sure you could tell, but I wanted to get my thoughts out about what scene fashion is, why I chose it for my coloring book, why I chose a coloring book in the first place, and just my thoughts in general on this project and what I want to do going forward. I really do appreciate everybody listening to me talk. I do appreciate everybody watching my videos. Every time you like and subscribe and comment, it means so much to me. I am getting like gagged up thinking about how much my channel has grown even in just the last few days alone. I can't believe that I went from 30 to over 700 followers in just a week, basically in response to this scene coloring book. And the amount of love that you guys have showed it is just amazing. Please make sure that you show yourself the same love, and I want you to know that I love you too. Thank you so, 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 so much for watching. I can't wait for everybody to get their own copies of this coloring book, and let me know in the comments below. Is this something you would color, or are scene queens like the cringiest thing you've ever seen? Let me know, and I can't wait to see you again in the next video.